It's been 1 week since India and Pakistan agreed to a ceasefire, ending their most serious military confrontation in decades. The truce, which was announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, was agreed rapidly last weekend after several days of fighting. India and Pakistan agreed to extend it at least until this Sunday. For the very latest, we can cross to New Delhi and check in with our correspondent Navodita Kumari. Navodita, this ceasefire was shaky at first, but it's held for about a week now. Can you just walk us through what's been happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Just after the announcement of this ceasefire, there were a lot of doubts and uncertainty whether this ceasefire will hold. Remember, it all started after on May 7th, India said that it allegedly struck at least nine terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan in response to a terrorist attack in Pahalgam in Indian administered Kashmir, in which at least 26 people were killed, mostly tourists. And after that, in retaliation, Pakistan also launched drone and missile attacks. And we saw 3 days of intense fighting and military escalation between these two nuclear armed neighbors. And for Pakistan, that they simultaneously launched strikes in at least 24 places in India, not just in Jammu and Kashmir, but beyond, like in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. So after these 3 days of intense military escalation, the whole world was waiting for some kind of de-escalation, which came after first we heard from Donald Trump, who announced it on social media, saying that he has negotiated a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Of course, Pakistan on their side said that 36 countries were involved in reaching this deal, while India has rejected that claim and said that it was the Director General of Military Operations of Pakistan that contacted his Indian counterpart, and it was decided mutually and bilaterally that they will cease military actions towards each other. But Trump, in the past week, has at least 5 to 6 times said that it was him and the US that helped in brokering this truce, which has not gone well with the Indian government.
And Navodita, how do Indians feel about this ceasefire? I understand that there's some division.
Yes, clearly. How Indians feel depends on where you are. For those people living near the border areas where they saw intense shelling and destruction, and also at least 16 civilians were killed and dozens of civilians were also injured in the fighting between the two countries, they welcome this decision of a ceasefire. But a lot of supporters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a lot of Hindu right-wing supporters are not happy with this decision. They see that, and they were expecting from Modi, who see him as a strong man who is there to protect their religion. Remember, it all started after the terrorist attack in Pahalgam, and allegedly there the terrorists were asking the religion of the people before killing them. So it had created a lot of anger and reactions amongst Indians. And so all these supporters of Modi, they say that India clearly had an military advantage over Pakistan. So why did India surrender to the seas? And they see that, and there are very, very aggressive response to this, not just on social media, some anonymous voices, but when we were reporting from Jammu, we spoke with dozens of people, and majority of them, they had this feeling that if this conflict had started, the Indian government should have there were some really, really aggressive statements like Pakistan should have been completely wiped off from the map of the world, and there should be a full and final solution to the Pakistan problem. So for those people, they are really, really angry, frustrated. And there has been growing also sentiments towards China because they say that China supplied arms and weapons to Pakistan, which was used against India, and also Turkey, because allegedly allegedly Turkey-made drones were found being used by Pakistan on India. So there is a whole range of emotions because historically Pakistan has been a very, very sensitive and emotional issue for Indians, and there has been a historical resentment towards its neighbor and Indians. They don't trust Pakistan. So whether it's a cricket match between these two nuclear armed rivals, or it's a full-fledged conflict or war, there is very charged up emotions amongst Indians against Pakistan.
All right, a lot of charged emotions. We'll have to see if that ceasefire continues to hold. Navodita, thank you so much for that update. That's our correspondent, Navodita Kumari, reporting there from New Delhi.